Hi guys, so I'm making a follow-up video relates to a question that a colleague and friend asked me about based on a video I'd put out about the differences between managed, shared, dedicated kind of hosting. I'll link the video at the end of this specific the video, so keep watching so you can see what video I'm talking about. But Xanthi has actually asked whether or not having managed hosting helps against the warnings we get related to Wordfence. So let me sort of show you what she means by that, just in case you don't know what that is. So this is her question, which I'm stealing to use as a title when I actually upload this video. So I'm gonna just show you on my. Let me go onto a website that I have that's easier to log into. So because mine needs like security, and I I don't want to waste too much time doing this for you guys. But basically, on every website that I work on, including something because we work together on a lot of stuff, she is a fantastic YouTuber that does Elementor related tutorials. I'm more of a Divi person. If you know Divi at all, you could probably tell that this is Divi just by looking at the things that I've got going here. So I'm moving my face just a second. So what Cynthia is talking about is Wordfence. Now, Wordfence is a security plugin for, obviously, for securing your WordPress website. And as you can see, uh, I'm lucky enough not to have had too many attacks, but there have been attacks on my website today. Well, is it today? Yeah, it's all today. So, but it is like Tuesday, so it's logical that it's only showing me like 2 attacks. If you go on other websites, you'll see more. And obviously, it's telling me if I need to update stuff and whatever. So what Xanth is talking about, if you go to the dashboard, there's a widget that sort of gives you a report on. Let me just load for a second. So there should be a Wordfence widget telling me of attacks that were happening and where they come from and so on. Now, when this happens, assuming the attack ratio is very large, so you're having many hits, Wordfence will send out an email warning you about it, or at least telling you that it's blocked this many emails. And it doesn't mean you have to check anything, but it does mean that something's going on. It may or may not be a plugin that needs to be patched and stuff like that. If you have premium Wordfence, you'll get the patch rules immediately. If you have the free Wordfence, you'll get the rule that helps you out 30 days later. But the fact that Wordpress is blocking the attack means that one of the rules that already exists in your database is already doing that for you. I'm not going to say too many things about that, because if I start using words like XSS, cross-site scripting, and stuff like that, you're going to go crazy. So I'll do that a bit later on. Now, anyway, Xanthi was asking whether or not having managed hosting, which I discussed in the video that I'll link to the end part of this video, or to the beginning one, depends on how I feel, I guess. She basically is asking if by having managed hosting you can stop these kind of like attacks. Now, the attacks are very different in nature, and I mean to say that some of them are attacks where people are trying to access your WP admin dashboard. Some of them are attacks for specific vulnerabilities that allow people to log in using a non-updated plugin and stuff like that. But managed hosting doesn't do that for you. It doesn't stop. It doesn't block like vulnerabilities from inside an application. What the firewall does on your managed hosting is block stuff like that are more severe. Like, for example, you know that, or you should know that you have access to the files of your server when you go onto your hosting account. So the server does that kind of security when they're not trying to access your website per se, but in actuality the files on your server, or when they try to hack FTP. If you don't know what FTP is, it's a protocol. Oops. It's a protocol where you can log onto your website. So for example, I have loads of websites here that I have the credentials here for, and I can log on to any website that I want. And one of those websites may or may not be mine. So I've got loads and loads of websites that mean loads and loads of things. And assuming you have my access, you can log on to my website. So, for example, I can log on to my personal website. I'm going to go in securely on this one just to show you guys something. So if someone were to gain access to my web server, which is not logging in at this very moment, let's see why. Is it because I probably don't have that access anymore. But anyway, let me try another server that I have access to. Let's see if this still works. So it's the same thing. It's just telling me that the certificate isn't valid on my computer. I said trust it anyway because I know that the certificate is valid. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, password didn't work. Okay, so I must have changed the password. But anyway, I can get into the files of my server. I wonder if I have anything new that I can sort of try. Let's see if this works. This might work. It might not let me because obviously site can't secure stuff. It doesn't let me. Okay, either way, if someone could gain access to your files, to your server's actual files, and delete the actual files, unless you have a backup, your life is over, right? If that makes any sense. So your hosting is protecting your email accounts, as in nobody should be able to access those. It's protecting the files on your actual account, but it won't protect against vulnerabilities. It might against, like, WordPress related vulnerabilities if it has server specific rules for that, but it won't stop attacks coming from WordPress, because like the attacks like these ones, it won't help because that's actually an attack toward the application. Like, and when I say attack, it could just mean that 1,000 people are trying to access your site at the same exact moment, which is also known as a DDoS attack or a DOS attack, depending on how you define which is larger. But obviously DDoS is larger, but I mean a DOS attack can be 1,000 people. It doesn't have a DDoS means that those 1,000 people are from a different country or on a different continent. But anyway, I don't want to get too technical about it. The basic answer to Konstantin's question is your hosting provider doesn't protect against application-related attacks, or they might, depending on the rules they have in the firewall. Like, for example, I know that SiteGround has specific rules to not allow access to specific folders in WordPress, and that will help nobody gaining actual access to your server. But if you have an old plugin, like a pirated plugin or something like that, or your login is compromised or whatever, obviously your hosting provider can't really help with that. So the simple answer to Xanthi's question is no, it doesn't protect against the warnings that WordFence is giving you, because those warnings actually could mean, simply put, so let me go onto a client's website to show you. I don't work on this website, but I still have access to the client and me, or like we still work together, and I go into his file from time to time to fix things for him, but it's basically done. It's an eShop, so it comes under attack a lot, and I don't really know if he keeps updating his plugins and stuff, but he sent me a message yesterday about how many attacks he's receiving, and he is actually on SiteGround as well. He's not one of my hosting clients, but as you can see, he doesn't have updated plugins. There's things he didn't update for I don't know what reason, but because I'm not the developer anymore, I can't really do much about that. But you can tell that people are trying to hack his website because, sorry about that. So you can see that people are trying to hack his website constantly, because obviously there's a value to it. There's an eShop, so they think they might get people's data, which I don't think they will anyway, simply put because he doesn't store any client data on the website. But anyway, they are trying to do it. So as you can see, he has many more attacks than I do. He had brute force attacks, 850 of them, and that brute force actually just means somebody was sitting on the login screen, or not on the login screen, but using methods to sort of try passwords and sort of try to log in, and you can actually tell the usernames they were trying to use based on what Wordpress was doing. But your provider, like your hosting provider, like SiteGround, that it won't protect you against people trying to log in. Like, it doesn't make sense that it would either. So if you go to the dashboard, oh shoot, I should stay where I was. So if you go to the dashboard, you can tell that people were trying to use the username admin or transmitters or us or full or root or user. I don't know where these people come up with the names, but they were trying to do it, and obviously Wordpress blocked them because these users don't exist. And Wordpress has rules for how long to block people and stuff like that, and it does block people based on their IP for reasons known or unknown. So this IP might be known in a hack or something, and that's why Wordpress automatically blocked it and stuff like that. So it can't. It might. Your hosting company might help you on an application level, but on an application level, it's more up to you, because your hosting is going to want people to log onto your website. Now, whether that person's a hacker or an actual client is irrelevant to your hosting company. They just assume for the person to want to reach it, that means that they want to come and see your website. They can't distinguish whether or not that person's a hacker, but there are probably rules for like known hackers. But I don't know of any hosting company that has a list of known bad IPs, if that makes sense, to like keep them from logging onto your site, or at least trying to log on. So the short answer to Xanthi's question is no. It is not. It's not up to your hosting company to deal with Wordpress related issues. It's more the server side to physically accessing the files.